Okay, I'm quite behind on videos. I've got like 15 on my list that I need to make, so I might as well get on with it. This is going to be a solve of the quarterfinals from the Microsoft Excel World Championship, which is Jumbled Jigsaws. A very cool case with a nice visual kind of reveal at the end. So we have a puzzle here. This is the color of the pieces, so it's grayscale. So the number indicates the amount of kind of white in the image. So a high number will be completely white and a 0 will be completely black like this. And we need to rearrange these puzzle pieces to reveal the image. So this is the color on the puzzle pieces, and this table represents its edges. So we have top, left, bottom, right separated by semicolons. And for each top piece, there will be another piece in this puzzle with the corresponding bottom piece, and so on and so on. So let's do some setup and just two-col both of these tables, and that will be easier to work with, and that also then matches the format of puzzle 2. So we have the piece and then the grayscale. Here we have the grayscale and the piece, doesn't matter which way around it is. And I also want to split these numbers up. So let's do text split that on the colon. And let's just label this up. So top, left, bottom, right, top, left, bottom, right. And then I'm going to do the same formula for puzzle 2, just so it's set up at the same time. And this is actually going to link off of this cell. And there we go. So let's get into it. How many pieces have a color number between 100 and 200? Let's say let P for pieces be V stack these colors and these colors. And I want to say sum of minus minus P is greater than 99 times P is less than 201. So that will give me, you know, all the entries between there. Now sum up the 4 edge pieces of all puzzle pieces. What is the highest 4 number total you can get? So I just remembered that I text split these, so I should probably turn those into numbers. So let's just times that by 1 quickly. And in the first puzzle, let's just put a times 1 on the end, times 1. We know puzzle 2 is bigger, so it's almost certainly in there. So let's say max of by row this, comma, sum, and that's our answer. Okay, one color is used most frequently. What is it? So we already V-stacked them up in this question, so let's just pull that logic down again. And then we can say equals at most of that V-stacked puzzle pieces. So 17 is the most common. Then the last 2 bonuses relate to solving the puzzles, so let's get on with the case. Question 1, we want to know what color this piece is, so that's a T lookup from our table here. And our row is this, our column is this. Let's just lock our table. Okay, question 2 is asking for the color of the puzzle piece that links below this one. So if it links below, we need to pull the bottom number of this and find where the top number matches it. So let's say text split this on our semicolon again, times 1. And the order of this is top, left, bottom, right. And if it's a 0, it means that there's no piece that touches it because we're at an edge. So if there's no piece below it, right, minus 1. So when I say if this, the bottom column, equals 0 to minus 1, otherwise we should need to XLOOKUP that in the top column here, so that's here, and return the color. Now level 3 is asking us to solve the first row of puzzle 1. So we might as well solve the puzzle in its entirety, then we can do questions 3, 4 and the bonus. So let's set this up. There's 32 rows and columns in this puzzle. So I can do if sequence of 32, then give me 0 4 times. And that's going to give me kind of the edge piece. And I'm also going to do that same thing for the top here across. Now we will need a corner to branch off of, and luckily it tells us in the question at the top left corner is this piece. So let's grab that and put it into our puzzle. And then we know that the left side of this piece has to connect to the right side of this. The right is the last number in that. So let's pull that out, text after this, colon, and the last one. And let's times it by 1. So that is the piece we're looking for in the left section of this table and give us the puzzle piece. So let's say XLOOKUP that in left, let's lock it and give us the puzzle piece. So if I now drag that across, I will get the first row of the puzzle. And then we want the right edge number of the first row in these positions. So let's say index that first row, and let's lock it for second column. So that's going to give us the full puzzle piece. We want the right edge, so it's just again text after the last colon there, and times by 1. So if I drag that down, that should be question 3 done. Now we want to solve the whole puzzle and get the puzzle pieces. So we can use the same method before, and the top of this piece is going to match the bottom of that. So we want the third kind of digit out of there. So I'm going to say extract numbers of that. That's going to give me all 4 numbers, and I want the third one. So I'm going to say index that on 3. Again, I'll need to times 1, and then I want to XLOOKUP that in the top column and find the corresponding piece. And then now I can just branch off from the right like this, and just keep kind of doing that. So let's pull that all the way down, and then let's branch off the right of those for this puzzle here. So that should be the full puzzle done. And I want to pull out the color, so I just basically need to XLOOKUP these in here. So let's build the puzzle. So puzzle 1 visualization, this has conditional formatting on. So I want to say XLOOKUP all of this stuff on here, give me here. So that's going to spill the puzzle. And we can see it creates a V. Let's do this question. So we want to do index this whole puzzle visualization on this row and this column. So that will give us the color of the piece. We can also do the bonus now. What letter is in the content? It's a V, so that's that. Question 5, we're on to puzzle 2, which is more complicated because 1, there's a lot more pieces, and 2, those pieces are not like uniquely matched to things. So if I just put duplicates here, you can see there's loads of pieces that match to each other. So unlike puzzle 1, we can't just match one edge and move down the puzzle to solve it. But let's talk about that when we build it. So the first question is just asking how many pieces can connect to this and what is the sum of all their color values. So let's do text split this on here, times 1. So it's currently in order top, left, bottom, right. And I want the bottom first, which is the third one along, then the fourth one, and then I want the top piece, and then the left piece. So if I now say sort by that array by these numbers, then it swaps it to the order I want. I can then say, does that equal all of this stuff? And if I just spill that across, it's going to give me trues and falses whatever one of those numbers matches up here, which means I then need to pull that. So let's just do some locking up here. Let's lock that. Let's lock that. One more thing I need to remember is that if any of these pieces in my array are 0, then it's an edge, so nothing is linked. So let's say let A be that first bit. And I want to say if A, so if it's a number, then does A equal all that stuff? Otherwise give me 0. And now I'll get a big array still with zeros if it was an edge piece. So here the second one in is left is a 0, so all of the right columns become 0. And then I can just say if that stuff give me the puzzle pieces, and I should be able to sum those up. So sum that. So it's just going to pull out all of the pieces there. So let's drag that down, and that should be the answers. Complicated way to do it, but it is efficient. So question 6 is asking us to arrange the first row of the puzzle, and question 7 is completing it, so we might as well just complete the whole thing to do both those questions. So I'm going to say if sequence of 128, then give me 0 4 times, and that's going to spill down. And then I also want to spill that across, so let's just do spilled across, and let's box in our whole puzzle this time. Spill that across. So now we have all edges of our puzzle, kind of the borders. And because we can't match one piece at a time like puzzle 1, the idea is to match 2 pieces at a time. So here we'd take the top and the left and then build out from the corner like so. So let's just join the top and a colon and the left for a second. And if we spill that across, we get top left, left bottom, bottom right, and then finally if we just go top right, that's all of our possible corners we can kind of span from. And we want to know which one of these now has the least duplicates. So I can say count A of this, but put a unique around it. And whichever number's biggest is kind of the corner we want to start from. So we can see that this one here is biggest with 16,383. There's only 16,384 pieces in the puzzle, so there's only going to be kind of one piece that could pick up the wrong piece when we try and do our matching. So let's keep that column for now. And this was top right, meaning we want to start from the top right corner. So let's say let bottom be text split this on a colon. Let's times it by 1 to get its numbers. And we want to say index that, comma 3. let's actually call it T for top. So the top is going to be the bottom of this, and it's top, left, bottom, right. So the bottom of that is indexing that on a 3. And then our right piece, so let's do R. So right is going to be the left of this piece on our right. And that's going to be the second number from this piece here. And then let's do top and a semicolon and the right. Obviously it's 0, 0 because it's a corner. So we want to find that in here and give us the piece. So this is just now a simple XLOOKUP. So let's say XLOOKUP that in this column and return the puzzle piece. And let's just make sure we've locked everything. And we get an error because I've put a colon instead of a semicolon. So let's just fix that. And now we get our first corner piece out. And now if we pull that down, we should start to just fill in the entire puzzle. So I'm going to copy paste that all the way across our entire puzzle to there. So copy those formulas. And then the whole puzzle works up to this bit. So this is obviously the wrong one because then there's nothing matching off of it. So we're doing our XLOOKUP down here. If we do it up instead, we'll capture the other piece. So let's change our XLOOKUP to search mode last to first and do a yes just on that piece, and then everything else will be fixed. So let's do the final questions and then create the puzzle and show you what it looks like. So I can say index my puzzle 2 on this row, this column, and let's just lock that. That's going to give us the code, and we want the bottom edge. And then let's say let A be that, and we want to do text split A on a colon and times it by 1. We want to index that thing on 3 because 3 is the bottom piece. So just check everything is locked. This isn't. I locked these for some reason. That's silly. There we go. And that's question 6 done. Question 7 is asking for what color the piece is. So let's pull our whole piece out again, which will be here. And we actually need to move these down. That's our piece. Let's do XLOOKUP. So XLOOKUP that in puzzle 2. And it's going to be here, return the color. And the final reveal is going to be to XLOOKUP all of our puzzle 2 stuff in here. So basically just what we just did, but I wanted to save this build the puzzle as the last thing, and that will spill out the whole puzzle. So apparently you can use Bing image search for this, and then I guess I can use like snipping tool. Let's see if that works. I wonder if I can copy paste, so copy from the snipping tool and paste into here. Would that work? No, I would have to actually, oh I can, Control C. Girl with the pearl earring. Okay, nice. Okay, and then it was made in 1665, so that is the answer to the last bonus. When was this painted? So, 1665, and there's a full score. Yeah, this is a genius case. It was good to see this on stage. I was a spectator from the stands, so really nice that this puzzle actually got fully solved live, just so we could see this image populate. Now, I'm not entirely satisfied with the puzzle 2 solution. It's kind of a copy of Dim's approach. I'm just using a different corner. It would have been nice if one of the corner combinations was unique. There are ways to do it single cell. I originally tried to do a circular reference method where I match all corners at the same time. So I match top, left, bottom, and right at the same time, and then use like a circular reference type method to look up all of them, so I wouldn't have that problem. But it's really messy and it takes a long time. So it's quicker just to do this manual fix. So that's it. We've got 3 more solve videos to come out. I need to finish my tutorial series as well. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.